Hi, Chris here for Tech Tablets. Just doing a screen comparison now between the Cube i6, the Onda v919 and the Teclast X98 Air 3G, which is on the far right. So the Cube is the one in the black. And now if you have a look at the screens, they're on, all of them are set to maximum brightness here, which you can probably hopefully see. I know on the Onda you can because it's in the middle, but I'll just move over the camera and you can see there that the Teclast is set onto maximum brightness there, and so is the Cube. Now there is a difference here in their display. They both, all three of them have the same exact Retina LG panel on them, which is an IPS display. But you can see that the brightness on the Teclast, well, hopefully you can see in the video, is actually a lot brighter than the other two tablets. You can see the white is whiter there. Now there is a difference when it comes to the gap between the actual glass panel, the touch digitizer glass, and the IPS panel below. It's greatest, I feel it's greatest on the Onda right here. The gap seems to be just a slightly more than the Teclast. You can see there the gap between the black there. Now this is something that the iPad Air, the first generation, has. It doesn't have a laminated screen, which causes that gap. And you'll see here that on the Teclast X98 it has that gap as well. It's present, but it seems to be just a fraction less than the Onda. And when it comes to the Cube seems to have hardly any gap there. While there is still that gap, it's not a laminated screen as far as I can tell, but it is definitely less. However, hopefully the camera's going to pick this up. The screen kind of has like a matte, grainy look to it. Now I have no screen protectors on it. I've actually pulled the screen protectors all off. There's no screen protectors on either of these screens. So all three of these tablets, none of them have a screen protector on it, because it wouldn't be fair. But if you can see, hopefully, that there is like this grainy kind of look to the screen a little bit. It's not like a deal breaker in anything, but you just notice it. It's more like it has kind of a matte. It's almost like comparing the matte display to a glossy display, even though the screen, the glass here, or hardened plastic, whatever it is glossy. The screen below seems to have like a matte layer between it. It's unusual. So when you have a look at the Teclast, you don't have that at all. It's more clear. So it's either the way they're processed during manufacturing, they're doing something different, Cube, with the screens. It gives it more of a matte look to it, which may make it better out in sunshine. I will have to test that out, but you can see there's a definite brightness difference. This is the Teclast X98 Air 3G. This is the Cube. And if I compare the Onda v919, you can see that it is bright as well, but still doesn't match the level of brightness that the X98 Air can produce. This is on the 48 Hz BIOS, by the way, which is the brightest BIOS there is for the Teclast. And go back to the Cube here, you can see the brightness difference. The Cube is probably about as bright, but then there is that funny sort of matte effect there on the screen that, looking at it closely, you can see that, yeah, I think you can just see it now on the camera. You see that if you see where that light is reflecting, it's more of a grainy matte, where here it's reflecting the light differently. You can see the actual LED light there reflecting on the glass of the Onda, and you see how that reflects now on the Cube is a lot different. So those are the three devices here that I'm just going to compare them together. There'll be more videos shortly. Build wise, the Cube seems to have this slight edge, I'd say. I do like the build of it. Is a little bit more solid feeling than the other two. The Cube having the lighter kind of build to it, and maybe the Onda actually maybe feels a little bit light. I think the Onda comes in under 500. This is 500 grams, and the Onda is, don't quote me on this, I think it's 487 or something like that. and it's quite nice to have a tablet with this sort of greyish black colour. It's very nice. I do like the way they've done their SIM card, micro SIM card slot. It's slotted away like that. It's a lot easier because I find sometimes the Teclast one's quite hard to get out. And they even gave me like a little dummy micro SD card that actually fits into the micro SD card slot. I'll show you that. And that card, there it is. They give me a little dummy one there that fits in there. So the way they've done the slots on the side there, I do like that. It's a nice little touch. And the speakers, I'm going to have to test that out now, compare the sound of them. Performance wise, I will also be doing a comparison video between these tablets, all three of them. Find out which really is the best dual boot tablet. So far, if you've seen in my other video, Android is very bloat free. In fact, it is just completely stock Android on the Cube, which is quite impressive. I do like that. And the screen there, yeah, being a bit matte is different, but it's not really a deal breaker or anything like that. The screen still does look really nice. And I will also test out benchmarks. They'll be up and coming, and there'll be a full review of the Cube i6 dual boot on techtablets.com within a week or so. I'd like to have a good amount of hands-on time with these tablets to make sure that I can find any faults. I'll go over also the output, for example, on the 3.5mm jack. It's quite common that some of these tablets have a horrible interference or background hiss that's present over this port here. So I like to test everything out and make sure that there's no real faults or anything like that. But there are the three tablets. There will be more videos up and coming of these three. Thank you for watching the video. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up, and do subscribe for these up and coming videos that I'll have shortly on these three tablets. Thanks for watching.